So hi everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Mark Smith and this is Tinker Time. Not said that have I since I set up. So I've done this video slightly different. You're going to watch. Hopefully you like it. Let me know in the comments below. And yeah, I've just done some slightly different. I hope people enjoy it more. The videos, like everything in life, or it's a 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 50, it's not working out like that, as people can clearly see that subscribe to my channel. Stuff goes on sometimes for an hour. It's probably not ideal that. Nobody wants to watch me for an hour. So let's try and make things slightly different. So hopefully you enjoy this video and watch it to the end. Hopefully you will, and let's see how it goes. Alright, so thanks everyone, and hope you enjoy it. I'll show you what I've found. Look at this. After what, a couple of weeks of being sat, I'm gonna have to get this mopped up pretty quick. Look at this. It's absolutely swimming in water. What is going on with these vans? And that had that plastic cover over it, looked nice and shiny. But what on earth were they thinking with these? You know, it's just such a shame. They're brilliant vans to drive. They're comfy. They're reliable when they're all right. You know, like everything. Bits are easy to get hold of, and then this complete disaster scraps these vans. Them 4 injectors there are going to cost more to replace, like we know, than this entire van's worth. It is just ludicrous. But I've got to get it mopped up because it's dripping in there. I don't think we're ever going to get them out when we come to strip it, but let's give it a go. And something else I've noticed we need to be worried about is that that's got a fuel pressure sensor, a fuel sensor on this side, but there's no PRV on this. My rail's got 2 on either side, so I have to blank my side off and fit my other rail. I don't know what's going to happen here. I'm a bit concerned now. I've just noticed that. Never mind, let's get this water mopped up before it starts running into engine. So welcome back. We're going to do some work today on this engine. Basically what I've done is I've cleaned most of the rust off it. One side seems to be rusty, the other side seems to be reasonably wet with oil. I don't know why, but we're going to drop the sump off it. We're going to have a look, see if there's any debris inside the engine after cleaning it out and cleaning it down. We've got the glow plugs off, which are here, so let me show you. There's one of the glow plugs there, so we're going to just stick them back in for the time being and keep the holes protected. We're going to change all them while we're at it. Try and eliminate problems. They were quite tight to get out, which I just started to do in the last video. We'll show you this engine. I think we're gonna have to. Go up and point the camera down at the top. So let's do that. So it looks a little bit better. I don't think it's going to win any prizes, but it's a clean start for us, and I'll get some paint on here and just make it look half decent, working in oil all the time. I'm not sure how this engine's going to stand up to being tipped completely upside down, but I want to get the sump off and have a look. It is quite heavy, this engine. I'm not looking an idiot in a minute, but let's just see if it'll I'm sure it's going to drip oil out somewhere along the line. There we go. Yep, absolutely, there's oil dripping out of it. Yep, so we've got some oil dripping out of it somewhere. I think it's coming out of the oil journals and cylinder head and everywhere else, but that's alright. It's not a bad thing. This oil pan looks a little bit, don't look very good. Don't think it leaks, but we'll take these bolts off. We've got a bolt stuck there, so I need to get that off. Just have a quick look under here and make sure everything's alright. Sure it is. I think the the oil could be from the clutch side. Now I can't really show you that. I might be able to. I'll show you afterwards. There's a gasket for the flywheel, and I think the oil's been dripping out of there and running down onto here. So maybe if you've got oil that drips under your sump along your flywheel case, gearbox case, it could be that gasket in there that's dripping oil out. Yeah, look. So it's possibly that. I'll have to investigate that. So I'll get a socket, we'll get this sump off, and we'll have a look. Let's see if we get some tools out. There we go. Bit of oily stuff. I just wonder while it's in here whether it's worth doing the oil pump. So I think we've got to. Oh, the engine stands on that bit. Rubbish. Could be tricky. I think you've got to take this bit off to get the oil pump off. And I've got my engine stand mounted to that. It's a bit rubbish, isn't it? Yeah. What a new one looks like for the red one. In fact, we've got an oil pump here. We've actually got one here off that engine that blew itself to bits. So this is what we've got. I mean, do them teeth look reasonably good? Should they be sharp like that? I don't really know what a new one would look like. I can't use this one because it probably got metal and stuff in it from when that engine blew itself up. But that's the pickup there, look. I just wonder if you can. I don't think you can. I think you need to take this case off, lift this off, and then you can get to your oil pump and everything from underneath. I think that's what we're going to have to do. I'll look into an oil pump and see how much one is. So let's get this engine turned back the right way up. Ready to rehang it and reposition our engine brackets on stand. Oh, great. And what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to clean the intake manifold up. It's just a little trick I've done with mine. I've got a parts washer, you can see down here, but I've also I use another product to try and clean all the gun jar bit and stuff. It's not the probably what it's meant to for, but what I use is a certain type of oven cleaner, and what we do is I just give it a bit of a spray on the inside. It is quite strong stuff, like, so just careful with the fumes and stuff off it. Give it, smell it. I found the best results for this is to power wash it off, completely blast it completely clean. That's what I did on my other engine. It was 1.9. I just left it to soak for 4 or 5 minutes, and then we'll give it a clean. Like I say, it don't take too long. Right round so you can see. There's a bit coming out of there, isn't there? Let that bubble out a bit on it. Alright, got some of it out. Maybe get the rest out with a sniffer brush and we'll blast it up, see if that helps. If you can see in there. Let me get my light off my thing and tripod. You can see in there. Cleaned it up. Difficult, innit? That's difficult. Will this light go any brighter? Have a look. Just wind it right up. Is that any better? Can you see in there? A little bit better. So it's cleaned it up a little bit better. We'll get that to. We'll just let that to go on for a bit, and then what I'll do is I'll get a blaster started up. So we're back now, and I'm not too happy with the vapor blaster. I've just had a little go, and it seems to be a bit crudded up. These cabinets, as you can see, they're just domestic ones. They're not the high-end spec ones that can just blast everything off. Like you can tell, I do a lot of stuff from home. I was always worried about powder coating stuff. I do a bit of that as well. Worried about my threads getting damaged. Could I have a go myself? There's obviously initial setup to start with, but once you get, you know, sorted and you do a bit of it yourself at home, it's quite good to do. You know, you don't have to drive anywhere to get it done. You can have something blasted and powder coated in an hour. And I think it works well. I do all the stuff as well, and I need little brackets doing and things like that, so I took it on myself. I'll blast this. compressor go up. Does get quite dusty in here. I think we extracted things up brilliant. But remember, this is just a domestic setup. My compressor is quite big for a garage. It does run off a 32 amp supply, so it's quite big. But you can a 3 horsepower single phase compressor. It has no regulator on that. It's directly fed straight into this cabinet, so it's pushing 150 psi and straight into this gun. Let's have a look. I couldn't quite see it properly, but it does need a good wash, which we will do. It is full of stuff, but we'll have to get it all nice and clean. There we go. Just trap everything in there. Yeah, it's got a bit of sand and stuff stuck in there, but we can wash all that out. Not a problem. So that's the intake manifold. Try to keep away from the finished surfaces. It's not touched down. I've just kept it on the edges of here, and it just needs a bit of a clean off. So yeah, that's a bit of blasting for you. So if you want to know how this cabinet works, like I've just on my vapor blaster cabinet, I don't mind answering questions on that. It's not a problem. I'll do a bit of a video if you're interested on this cabinet and how I did it and how I made it. But I just thought I'd show you this, and we'll crack on doing some more. So hi, welcome back. I enjoyed that. It is slightly different. I just think the way things are, that things are taking should take 5 minutes, they're taking 3 hours, and I'm trying to make things a little bit easier for people to see when we need to see it and when we don't, sort of stuff out in between. So hopefully they enjoyed it. Just got a few maybe niggly issues with this engine. If you noticed, I've spotted the fuel rail was different, which has turned into basically a little bit of an issue, I think. So maybe get some comments on this if you've done this, or what you think I need to do. So I've got a couple of options, or maybe 3 options. Option 1 is to leave it like this. I've cut this piece off the top of the rocker cover. I've used the original fuel lines with this engine and the injectors for this engine. What I have done is fit the fuel rail from that white van, and I thought if I make a bracket using this cardboard template, tack it to the rail, it'll work. That's my first thoughts. My second thoughts are basically to cap off this PRV valve, is it, and cap off this. But will this rail still function as it should do? It's got big part numbers on it for a reason. Alter the wires, because this is at this side and mine's at that side, and basically fit that back where it is, minusing these 2 parts. Will that work? Option C is fit this rail and swap over the pipes from this engine that we've got here onto that white van. So basically just change the wiring over a little bit to there. Well, we can't, because we haven't got there's no PRV wire, there's no plug for it, so that's scrapped. No, we can't do that. So no, we can't do that. Option C's out the window. So it's either cap these 2 off and fit the rail, or leave it as it is and hope it's going to run. What do people think? I don't know. So that is the little bit of an issue we've got. I've got a timing chain kit coming, I've got a full gasket set coming. It was probably the easier option than buying all separates. So before we take it any further, I just want to have a word and try and sort out this fueling. Well, is it a problem or a little bit of an issue? So we'll go from there. So while this is on the back burner, or we're just having a little look at this, we're going to look at these all 3 vans. We're going to change the seats and the steering wheels. So I'm going to try and find, for instance, my mini seat's wearing out, so I could do the new seat for there. I quite like the twin seat in my silver van. It's handy to put stuff on, so I'll probably leave that as it is because my van's a working van as well for the minute still. And the white van that we're taking the engine out, that can have twin seats. We'll rob the seat base from that other white van and put it in that white van, put twin seats and sort out the airbag like people have issue with. And the blue van could have a single seat and a twin seat, maybe from a car or maybe something else, who knows. Let's mix it up a bit, try and make that fit. And steering wheels, let's try and find 3 different steering wheels, so maybe a Vauxhall, a couple of Renaults. They're probably the better steering wheels to fit because they might kind of follow the same wiring pattern. I don't know, I honestly don't know. So if anyone's got any ideas on steering wheels that they know fit but want to get fitted, I'll certainly look into it. Seats, whatever's comfy for everybody. I'm not the slimmest thing in the world, so I don't want a bucky seat to be. I'll never get out of it. But I'll look for some big comfy armchair seat. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do next. So hopefully you enjoy these videos. Any comments you want to make on this engine, fuel intake, seats, steering wheels, let me know. Be great. Thanks for all the comments, and basically thanks everyone that's subscribing. It's great, so thanks very much. And if you haven't done, hit that subscribe button, whichever side it's at, and I'll catch everyone in the next video. So bye for now.